Hello everyone, my name is Eostrix, and welcome to 31 Days of Spooky Games. Today is day 29, and we are playing Tunnel Vision by olinkalex for the 2025 ScreamJam. Point and click adventure, where we play as a reporter looking for their friend and finding a killer. Let's get into it. A friend I hadn't spoken to in months suddenly called and asked me to grab my camcorder and come to his place ASAP. He said it was important, but he couldn't discuss it over the phone. Just as well, since he called around 3 a.m. What person in their right mind goes to places at 3 a.m.? I need some better friends. But I just got finished with work, so I've decided to head over now while I've still got light enough for my camcorder to get clear images. Let's look at my truck. I already took the time to come out here. I should figure out where he is. The curtains are drawn. I can barely make out what's inside. You're not going to tell me what's inside. Or the shot. God, it's weird to actually have a actual point and click game rather than just saying point and click. What a weird gnome, yeah. And then this is a flamingo with his head cut off. I didn't know people even bought these things anymore. Wait a second. It's supposed to be the key to the shed. But good on me for exploring first. Yeah, someone didn't like Jerry. I wonder where that flamingo's head's gone. Or maybe he bought it like this? Pretty grim looking either way. It's rusted shut. I can't open the grill. Okay, so just clicking over there in general. It's not a specific thing. The key fits. Okay. Let's see what's inside. Damn, okay. What's he been doing with all this stuff? And where the hell is he? Microwave, safe, computer, TV, and a whole fuck ton of paper. No, I'm no detective. So we have September 16th. Of 1996. It's good to know for later. It's a 7 of diamonds. Also noted for later. It's just a few days away. Enter account. Okay. 091696. Does that mean good? No, it means bad. 9/16/1996. Also bad. Last message is from me. I guess I was the last person to call him. So either no one's worried about him, or no one knows to worry about him. And there's no cable. It can only play VHS tapes. The box is full of documents and news articles from foreign countries. I can't read any of these languages. I also could not do that. It's a map of what looks like a tunnel system. It's a map of the world. It's covered with files, pins, and strings. Wait, 7 of diamonds. 3 of clubs. Noticing a theme here. 5 of hearts. I don't see anything taken card, but noted for later. It's a cassette tape filled with bird calls. I didn't know he did bird watching. Pizza. The man in my nightmares. News report 1. Police earlier this Friday identified the corpse of 2 men who were found within the local subway. The cause of death does not seem to be an accident of any kind, but rather a murder. Deliberate jabs with a sharp object, leaving deep wounds, were found on several body parts, such as the head and upper torsos of both men. Police investigators have been searching the area following the results of the autopsy, stating that the punctures are too large and deep to have been caused by a knife. Okay, we'll read them in order. An ongoing investigation into last week's double homicide has yet to turn up any leads. Patrolmen responded to reports of a vehicle struck in the Walter Tunnel. The officer's last report to dispatch was that he was on the scene and was about to examine the car for occupants, knowing that the car's window had been smashed. After more than an hour of silence, additional units were sent to the tunnel, where they found Watts had been fatally stabbed near the driver's side of the stranded vehicle. The driver of the vehicle had also been fatally stabbed. The wounds matched those of the other unsolved incidents in the region. Damage to the tunnel wall suggests shots had been fired, although the angle makes it unclear what Watts was aiming at. Rumors about a possible serial killer are running rampant throughout the county as police have identified a third victim. There appears to be no direct relationship between the three victims. However, all three were murdered in tunnels or underpasses, and all three were fatally stabbed by an unknown large object. The first two autopsies also suggested traces of toxic gas in the victim's lungs, which has further baffled the law enforcement. Citizens throughout the county are calling this mysterious killer the Tunnel Man, with theories of the killer's identity ranging from a disgruntled homeless man to a satanic cult. We'll report on that third autopsy as soon as the results are released. In the meantime, all citizens are advised to avoid entering enclosed public spaces alone. Okay, that's very shiny. So it's looking like with the tunnel map, either he's a cop or he's an investigator looking for this thing, or he's the one who perpetrated it. A group of 4 criminals robbed a local city bank this week, attempting to use the city's sewer system for a getaway from the police response. A surprising and tragic twist, what stopped the robber wasn't the police, but something else. When one of the robbers was caught escaping, the police searched the sewers and found a shocking sight. 3 of the robbers, along with 4 sewer workers, were found dead. Police have not been able to give much word, but they did mention that the deaths were particularly brutal. A shocking sight was discovered this weekend when construction workers went to check on the progress of the repairs in the tunnel. 3 men were found dead, 2 of whom appeared to be the victims of cold-blooded murder. There were clear signs of horrific mutilation with a large tool, leaving both traces of blunt trauma and deep stab wounds. The third victim, however, found hidden at the entrance of the nearby manhole, showed no such wounds. Thorough inspections led police examiners to believe that his death was related to an inhalation of toxic fumes. As of yet, it is still unclear who is behind these terrible deeds, nor where the deadly gas could have originated from. That's 7. The Blackstone mines, which were closed back in the 1800s, had been recently reopened, have become the site of a horrific tragedy just this week. 2 teenagers, who have yet to be identified, snuck into the mines to engage in vandalism, where one was killed and the other was hospitalized with an as-of-yet unknown illness. Local police are unsure whether the incident was accidental or if foul play was involved, but it has halted the mines reopening. We might just have to close it up again, the mine supervisor said to us in an interview. Panic erupts outside the county sheriff's office, as reports of a serial killer in 2 neighboring states have been released. Details of the murders match those of the infamous Tunnel Man, whose reign of terror only ceased 4 months ago. The killer is still at large, though police are suggesting this may be a copycat killer, as at least 2 of the murders happened within minutes of each other, despite being over 50 miles apart. The public is demanding that the sheriff increases patrol to ensure local public safety. The sheriff has described the situation as a nightmare for both public safety and an already understaffed police force. Tunnel Man. What a fun thing to be named. Translation books. Quantum theory. Books on poisonous gases. Quite the interesting collection here. Yeah, no connection there at all. Obviously none. The 9 of Spades. Bottle of anti-rust. This could be useful. Not the duct tape next to it, though. Looks like it's almost out of water. Alright, well, what about the microwave? Nothing I can do with that. September 1996. Oh, wait, maybe this is made by someone who's not English. 160996. I hope that's just pizza sauce. The man in my nightmares. Tunnel Man? Hey! Alright. Red Cross report. Patient is the sole survivor of a military supply bunker. Identity unknown. Patient is barely coherent and keeps rambling about some accident that seems unrelated to the bunker attack. It is believed that the patient was attacked while in one of the bunker's tunnels, survived by hiding in a locker. Other bodies show blunt trauma and pierce wounds, but the patient is largely without injury. He was initially blamed for the attacks until it was found he had inhaled toxic fumes of unknown origin. Patient is afraid of certain sounds and keeps saying to watch out for the Devil's Tunnel. Requested transport to psychiatric facility and waiting response. Patient is a young woman in her mid-20s who was found just outside the entrance of a new subway construction site. Police informed us that the patient may be the survivor of a mass murder in which 2 men were killed within the tunnel. The patient has inhaled toxic gas of unknown origin. She is unconscious but frequently mutters something about not getting too close to a tunnel to hell, and to keep watching the walls. The initial prognosis is that this is a side effect of the gas and a possible sign of brain damage. Dr. Matheson says symptoms remind him of a case he handled back in his army days, but that case had been classified. He said he will reach out to the detective on the case and see if they can get the medical reports declassified. Patient is a survivor of an attempted homicide at a local abandoned mine. It is believed he and a friend broke into the mine to drink, based on numerous empty bottles found at the entrance. However, the patient shows no signs of intoxication. Blood alcohol levels are normal. The patient has numerous wounds and has inhaled toxic fumes. He is conscious but delusional, staring at the walls and mumbling that the monster is coming for him. He also has recurring nightmares about tunnels. These delusions are likely a combination of the location of the attack and possible brain damage caused by the fumes. Similarities to a recent case in a city subway construction zone approximately 30 miles from this mine suggest this may be the work of the same suspect. Patient was admitted after being apprehended by police on suspicion of robbery and mass homicide. Initial examination shows numerous superficial wounds and lacerations, as well as some bruising and 1 broken bone consistent with blunt force trauma. Gases were detected in patient's lungs, which may explain his paranoid and incoherent nature. He keeps looking at the walls as if looking for something and muttering "no tunnel" before looking away. Additionally, patient has asked about 2 other individuals, which the police have identified as among other victims in the sewer. Patients have asked about 2 other individuals, which the police have identified as among the victims in the sewer, suggesting the patient is unaware of their deaths. Symptoms line up with other cases in the tri-state area, including what other hospitals have dubbed NDE, Nightmare Tunnel Syndrome. A seeming variant of the typical tunnels reported in near-death experiences in which the patient believes they have seen a tunnel into hell and the devil will come for them through the walls. Defendant was sent to us by the county sheriff's department after having been found in Blackstone Mine. He was suffering from hallucinations of tunnels opening in the walls and was barely coherent. Doctors found traces of carbon monoxide in his lungs and are having him evaluated for potential brain damage. Defendant is charged with trespassing, destruction of private property, and is a suspect in the death of another trespasser. Plaintiff suggests willingness to drop charges if investigation proves the murder was a third party, as the incident may have saved the lives of those scheduled to begin work at Blackstone. Nobody's going to buy that last sentence. These stupid tunnelman murders have everyone on edge. They just don't want to admit it. Oh well, I'll fix this tomorrow. A message from a PI. Be careful, since this has officially been deemed a cold case and the evidence has been sealed away. It will take some planning to gather what you requested, but I am looking forward to comparing evidence and possibly solving this thing once and for all. I scheduled maintenance of the records vault little over 2 months. And that would be the best time for us to meet up. I will make copies of the case files that I can access while security is disabled, and you bring what you have. This is my response to the PI. We both waited this long. A few more months will be fine. Just know that our friend Tweety isn't going to stop working while we wait. Neither will I. Just in case something happens to me before the meeting, the most important items will be in the safe. Just find the video I told you about and check the date. To be safe, I am keeping the tape hidden as well. Check the enclosed photo for a hint. Stay in touch, Sylvester. Alright, so 6. Spades, which is 9. Oh, okay, wait 1 second. So it's 9, 6, 3, 7, 2, 5. Fucking nailed it. Subway tunnel. Blackstone Mine. That's a little weird looking. Robber sewer escape. 1, 2, 3. That one looks like it'd be a lot more of hell than any other. Okay, this one's also hell. There's no way these people were conscious after that. Final preparation. Okay, I've got the gun loaded with plenty of ammo. I also made sure to get new quality batteries for my flashlight. I don't want it to be that guy whose light dies 2 minutes in. I left a message for Mark to bring his camcorder, but didn't go into detail. The detective can fill him in. Everything's in place and the safe is secured, so I guess that's it. And when reading this, I'll be waiting outside for you to get there. I've come too far to be that stupid horror movie protagonist that gets tricked into his own death. Nothing in the trash bin. Oh. Hi. Hi, dear. Oh, the anti-rust loosened it. That's funny. 963725. Like a dream. What a weird place to hide a VHS tape. I'd better take it if it's not that important. Or if it's that important. Let's play VHS tapes. Alright, now let's see what's on this tape. June 13th, 1987. No comments on that? Just a dude walking around an abandoned mine shaft? Oh, actually that was perfect. June 13th, 1987. A newspaper from 1930. Tragedy struck a local mine yesterday when a routine demolition in a gas-contained section claimed the life of a colored middle-aged miner. Investigations revealed that he had not been warned that the demolition was to take place. The miner was found with his face crushed beneath falling rock, and it was thought he may have held the bird's cage in a desperate attempt to shield himself. In a strange turn of events, as men moved to recover the body, it had vanished from the rubble. Company officials emphasized that the blast had been planned for safety and that no other injuries were reported. The investigation into the circumstances of the miner's presence and his mysterious disappearance continues. Journal final entry? This may be my final entry. I received a tip that there are lights inside the old Blackstone mine, and someone heard whistling. He could be back. I need to follow up on this lead ASAP, or he could slip through our fingers. Detective, if you're reading this, come to Blackstone as soon as you can. I'll be stalking out the entrance to verify our Tweety is really inside. Blackstone Mine? What is he doing there? Who's Tweety? Well, it's my best lead. I'd better take my car there. Partially redacted police report. Blank was found deceased near the entrance of Blackstone Mine. Autopsy shows a combination of toxic fumes and wounds seemingly caused by the equipment inside. Records show that Blank was a former employee of the mine and had survived an attack on a bunker in World War II, during which he had inhaled a similar gas. Medical reports from the time show that he had been obsessed with hallucinations that tunnels could appear in the walls. He was admitted to a psychiatric ward, but was later released after it was determined his psychosis was likely the result of inhaling toxic fumes. They left a note stating he was going back to the mine to confront his demon. His daughter immediately reported the note to the authorities, leading to the discovery of his body. I've been trying to figure out how the monster I saw is able to do the things he does. I know he gives off a poisonous gas, and I know he's much stronger than a normal human. But after all the nightmares about him being able to pass through walls, I decided to see if there was a scientific explanation. After speaking with several physicists about the possibility of instant travel, one of them mentioned a word that made sense. He asked if I was talking about wormholes. Turns out there's this thing in quantum physics based on Schrodinger's equation that works just like a wormhole in science fiction. I don't understand everything he said, but supposedly a wormhole based on the quantum tunneling would allow someone to go from one place to another in an instant. I'll have to go back and ask him more, but I need to be careful. If I was talking about a monster I met in the mines, he probably would have security remove me and warn all of his friends. But I think I'm onto something. The detective is going to love this. What was that noise? That sounded like a gun. You'd better be waiting for me at those mines. What'd you get yourself into? I really hope Sylvester didn't get himself in trouble. Sylvester? Seriously? That guy was always a child at heart. Although he was different after they found him in some mine. I wonder if it's the same mine. I wonder if he really did the smart thing and waited for backup. Better be careful exploring this place. I hope he's okay. Damn it. He couldn't wait for me. Must be deeper in the mine. That crate is huge. You can practically hide inside of it. How convenient. Looks like the mine was still under construction before they shut it down. Huh? Was that him? He must be close. Nothing useful in here. What a weird clock. What's it doing here? This little generator's empty. Though can't imagine it's still in working condition anyways. I guess let's head forward still. Wait, what's that light over there? Some old rundown minecarts. Oh my god! What the hell happened here? Mark's body was found a few days later in Blackstone Mine, with no sign of his friend or any clue to his whereabouts. Police have attempted to get in touch with the private investigator that the friend was in contact with, but it was discovered that he was a victim of homicide 2 days earlier in a nearby highway tunnel. The case has gone cold. That was really cool. I just wish that it was a bit more of a jump scare. Like, it was still really good, but I really wish that it had just, like, some sort of sound or something in addition to jumping out at me. That would have been chef's kiss. That was really fun. I actually really want to play more point and click games now. And maybe I will. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.